Yeah. Columbia Crew 2025 fantasy season back in effect, and we are ready to start with our first podcast where we're going to go over your keeper selections, and we're going to predict which keepers you're going to select in the Columbia Crew Fantasy League. Graham, how are you, brother?
Everything's good in the DC apartment. Everything is looking good. Kids were here. They had a fun time at the pool. So yeah, I'm all good.
Nice, man. You liking it down there? It's close to your work. It looks awesome, dude.
4 minutes and 51-second commute. I timed it.
What floor is your apartment on?
8th floor. Yeah.
Nice, man.
Yeah.
And can you see where the new RFK Stadium's going to
be? I can face it right down East Cap. It's gonna go right there. It's gonna be great. I'm gonna be able to see it. I'll be able to hopefully hear one day. I'll be able to hear cheers. If as long as it's not domed, we'll see. If it's domed, then I don't know. We'll see. But yeah.
Listen, the cool thing about that is if that happens, they're going to host a draft, which is going to be awesome. They're probably going to host a Super Bowl. So, I mean, you're in prime location, dude.
Yeah, yep. And my dream is Lamar Jackson and Jaden Daniels in the Super Bowl and at the new RFK or whatever we're going to call it. Oh man, that's going to be awesome. If that happens, that'd be great.
I think it's going to happen. I think there's a high likelihood that those two are going to meet up in the Super Bowl before their careers are over. That's going to be great. All right, so today we're going to go over, I put out the keeper list and the options of all of our managers in the Columbia Crew and who they get to choose from to keep. I put it in a spreadsheet. I sent it to everybody. That's what we're going to use to kind of look at. We're going to go over everyone's teams. You and I are going to predict who the managers are going to choose. They get to keep two keepers. We can start with Lenny, and what we'll do as we go through is we'll look at who they kept last year, maybe make a couple comments on how that worked out for them, whether they should keep them again. And yeah, let's just go through the list. Let's start with Lenny. Let's see what he's looking at. What do you see when you look at Lenny's list?
Yeah, I mean, I was looking at this and I was like, basically looked at like how I looked. It's like, what are the three players I would take, right? Look, what are the three good options that he has? And I might have missed something here. Obviously Garrett Wilson's right there, 15th round. I think that's pretty good. Lamar Jackson, he's going to have another great, awesome season. 4th rounder for Lenny. And then looking James Cook, I feel like that was something that, does Buffalo have another good year where he gets to run the ball a little bit more? That's what I got. I mean, Pittman is a little maybe too high at 3rd round.
Yeah.
Romeo Odunze, 6. But if I would take Lamar Jackson just because I feel like he's going to be MVP candidate. A lot of yards, a lot of TDs, a lot of everything. And then Garrett Wilson gives him and we'll talk about this. Like, look at last year, he took James Cook and Garrett Wilson. So, just run it back. I feel like, but I would take Lamar. I mean, to me.
Yeah, I remember last year you were kind of feeling pretty strong that getting a elite quarterback or two, and you correct me if I'm wrong, but I remember this was kind of like going into last year's draft. You were like, I want a quarterback. I want I want to invest in a quarterback early if I have to. And what did you think? Like, what do you think about that in our league? Do you think, like, for example, going high for someone like Lamar, knowing you're getting the running, he's going to finish probably top 3 in our league for the next 5 years, knowing that you're getting solid guy in like the 3rd or 4th round, like Lamar, or waiting to get someone, I don't know, maybe Baker Mayfield in the 5th or 6th or 7th since he showed up last year. Like, what do you think it's worth getting one of those guys early?
I think it's worth you getting a guy that has that sort of 70, 80, 90 point potential. I think that's where you get a guy who's like, if you get a guy who's just 50 consistently, like Herbert. Herbert just was a 50, 55, 50. Seems like he didn't have the highs in previous years. But a guy can like, hey, I got this by myself. Let me give you 90 points. You're good. And I think that's where that high end quarterback pick is worth it. Might win you 2 or 3 weeks.
That's a really good point because I had Jared Goff last year. He was my keeper. I kept him in the 19th round, and I thought, you know what? He's going to get me an average of like 47, 48 points a week. It's just going to be steady. But he never had those real spike weeks that the running, quarterbacks provide. And I kind of missed that. And there was a couple weeks that I missed that. So What do you think of like Bucky Irving in the 22nd round? Because here's my question about Cook. It was a great pick last year. Cook, I think, ran for like, I don't know, 14, 16 rushing touchdowns, which is
Six,
very
six,
hard to predict.
16 TDs, which is that's one of those stats that you never see that consistently unless your name is Daniel Tomlinson.
Right.
Yeah,
And, and so Cook's going to drop down to 10. He's going to have some, regression back down to the mean of like 10 to 8 touchdowns. And you have to pick Cook for Lenny in the 6th round, man.
yeah, yeah. I mean, that's where what's the difference between Cook and Bucky Irving, right? Bucky Irving had half as many touchdowns, the same amount of attempts. Ironically, both had 207 attempts rushing, 1,100 yards for Bucky Irving, 1,000 yards for James Cook. But looking at Buffalo's offense, is it worth getting a high scoring offense where he's going to have a lot of end zone touches, regardless of if he gets the touchdowns or not? Is that worth whatever round you're looking at? Bucky Irving versus and Bucky Irving is going to be a 22nd versus James Cook 6. That's a lot. That's a lot. I feel like maybe that you drop down and get Bucky Irving in 22nd and say I'm good.
I know, because Bucky Irving finished 12th in running back points last year, and Cook, because of his touchdowns, finished 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th. So you can get the 7th best running back in 2024 in round 6, or the 12th best in round 22. That's
Yeah,
where I usually like kind of go for the value, man. Because
yeah,
if I need Cook or someone like that, or Kamara in the 6th round, I'll go get him, and then I've got Bucky Irving just waiting for me at the end of the draft. It's kind of
yeah,
nice, you know.
yep, yeah.
Um,
I think he swayed me there. I mean, if it were me, if I'm doing this, I mean, then we should make our picks. I'm gonna go Lamar, and then you convince me Bucky Irving. I would do Lamar and Irving. That's what I would do if I were Lenny.
I think I would too, because those are just like you said. I like this. Lamar's one of the maybe 3 quarterbacks that I would actually waste like a 4th round, keeper pick on, because of those spikes, because he's going to finish at the top. And so if you're going to burn a 4th round pick on a keeper, I don't know if I want to burn a 6th round pick on a running back. You know what I mean? I
Yeah,
think I kind of like Bucky at the end. And quite frankly, Garrett Wilson's so talented, man. So talented. But I feel the same way about him as I do Malik Neighbors. I don't like the offensive setup, man. It scares me, you know?
yes, yeah. That and also you're hoping that he gets the ball thrown in. Or Lamar, every week Lamar's going to give you 10 rushes. He's going to
Yeah.
give you 25 throws. The ball, everything runs through Lamar. Even when Derrick Henry has a game, it's not like he has a game because Lamar set that thing up. It's 21-3, and now hey, let's get the king some touches. So I feel like everything rides on him, and I'd rather just know going to bed. If it's Sunday night football and Lamar's playing, I'm down by 50 points. I'm going to bed. I'm good.
Yep.
See you.
Yep.
Thanks for the win. Appreciate it.
Yeah. All right. Okay. So I think we have a consensus. If Lenny went with Cook, or if he went with Wilson, we wouldn't hate him for it. But we both think maybe Lamar and Bucky would be the way to go.
Yeah. And
All
this
right.
for Lenny, if you're watching, which I know you are, just remember who the experts are, right? We are the experts. We have the podcast. We have the followers. Appreciate you playing.
Don't go rogue, Lenny.
Right.
Just do what we're telling you to do,
That's
man.
right. Yeah. We know this stuff.
All right. Let's look at EG. Last year he kept Jalen Warren, 22nd round, and Kyler Murray, 21st round. He went late round picks, good value in those late rounds. Everyone was saying Jalen Warren was kind of encroaching in the Pittsburgh running back room. He was going to get maybe more than 50% last year, so there was some excitement about him. And Kyler Murray again, always some excitement. He could be one of those spiky quarterbacks. He was a little disappointing, but again, you spent a 21st round pick on him. It's okay. What do you think Eric does this year?
Hopefully he pays attention.
Ooh, shots fired.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I mean, last year he didn't have much. His options weren't great. I mean, clearly his options were great because those are what he picked. He picked Warren and Murray. We're all still waiting for Kyler Murray to like do something for a season. I mean, looking at his yards, he's just been an average quarterback for the past 7 years. There's no like wow moment. He has some wow games, but he just can't put together a whole season. So, um, looking, I would say not going to go with Murray. I mean, look, Jameson Williams, 1,000 yards, 7 TDs, a really good offense. I mean, he's going to get the ball a lot. I like that. Problem is, it's a fifth rounder. Is he going to be? Could you get him in the sixth round? Maybe that's one. Obviously, Stephon Diggs, Rashee Rice. Rashee Rice is 4. He had a injury because of getting tackled by Mahomes. But I think Lad McConkey, that's the one, 1,000+ yards, 7 TDs, rookie year. I like that a lot. I like that, and good bloodline. He's got the bloodline, the McConkey bloodline. Um, and then if he wants to go a little crazy, I think that taking Bo Nix, 22nd round, you got to have a starting quarterback who, he had a good year. 29 touchdowns, 12 picks, almost 4,000 yards. I like
Yeah.
going in, give me a receiver, give me a quarterback, and now, opening round, first 2 rounds, give me running backs. Running back, and now
Yep.
after round 2, you've got a team. So
Yeah, I agree with you. I think I love Rasheed Rice. I love the guy, but fourth round too high for me, too rich for my blood. I don't want to waste a fourth round pick on a keeper slot. Jameson Williams, same thing. Kind of a gadget player, but really explosive. Going to give you the spike weeks at times. Um, but again, fifth round, it's too high for me. So what I'm left with is I'm looking at, I got to get McConkey. I love McConkey. He's the bomb, dude. He's like I love the rookies, man. I like piled up on rookies. And when I didn't have McConkey and he was going off, I was like, oh, I missed a rookie. But he's going to be solid, man. He's just one of those white dudes that's always finding like the open spots in the zones, man. And
yeah,
he's got a great quarterback and a decent offensive system. So I don't think you can go wrong with that. Seventh round is fine. And then Bo Nix, man.
yeah,
Look at the system he's in, man. And the coach believes in him. You got Sean Payton out there just dialing up. I mean, Bo Nix has some limitations, but Payton can scheme it up, man. And the second half of the season, Bo Nix made a push for Rookie of the Year, even
yeah,
with Washington's quarterback in play. So
yeah.
I like that, man. I think that's what EG should do. I think he should go Bo Nix in the 22nd and McConkey in the 7th.
Yeah, we're consensus there. So far we're on chalk on these, so we're on the same. Yeah, so
Okay, let's look
hopefully
at
Eric
Sarge.
pay attention to us.
Yeah, man, pay attention. Graham thinks that you're not paying enough attention during the season, so
Yeah,
um, I want to see a little bit more. It's been laid down. All right, I don't want to see you losing to Graham King in any of your matchups this year because he
that's
just
right.
talks some smack.
That's
He's
right.
saying that
Talk
you're
smack.
not really invested, is what he's saying. It's like you're not really into it.
That's right.
Hmm. Okay. All right, Sarge.
All right. Speaking of the opposite, one guy who's really invested with it, the Red Rhino. Came in. What he finished in third last year? Is that what he finished or second? He was second.
I
Where's
think
Sarge?
Hammond finished second, didn't he?
Where's the? Yeah, look at that. Yeah, might have started
Standings.
third. Yeah. Okay, so I mean, looking at Sarge, I was like, well, Devon Achan, who is super talented, but that's a busy backfield for Miami. T. Higgins, who just signed a mega deal, third rounder. Dalton Kincaid, 40, as a tight end, 22nd round. Godwin, is that a guy he's sixth round? Can you take him? I mean, everything else, I don't know. Like, I don't see a lot of options here. I think Sarge has some work to do, and um, I feel like this might be our first where we've ended up picking. We might be different on these. I don't know. What do you see? What do you see as strong points in his team?
Yeah, unless I made a mistake and I keep second guessing myself, but I'm pretty sure that Sarge got rid of Laporta before Laporta blew up. Like I think he kept Laporta, but he didn't. he didn't keep him on his team. I think maybe he dropped him or he traded him or something. Is that right?
Yeah, I think he did. He's traded him. Roach has him now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um, I think you got to keep Achan at 20 at the 22nd round. Like I think that's a no-brainer out of all these options. You got to keep Achan. And then okay, the only thing I'll say, this Jennings guy, this is the receiver for the 49ers. Yeah, Jawan
Yeah.
Jennings, right?
Yeah.
Um, I think they're gonna need him, man. And there was like 3 or 4 weeks last year. I think it was actually week 1 last year. Jennings like was the leading fantasy receiver. And I was like, where did that come from? Because these 49er receivers were kind of injured throughout the season. Even their
Yeah.
rookie last year, Pearsall was injured. And
Week
Jennings, every
3.
time he came in, he blew up, dude. And so it's
Yeah.
like I'm not pushing for like Jennings, but I'm hearing like some buzz from the, so-called experts that are saying just keep an eye on Jennings. And if you can grab him in the later rounds, he's worth grabbing because the 49ers are a little bit depleted in the receiver room,
Yeah.
and Jennings comes through. So he's something to consider if you just want that late round pick.
Yeah. So week 3, 11 of 12, he caught 175, 3 touchdowns. November 17th of week 8 or whatever it is, 10 of 11, 91 yards, touchdown. Last 2 weeks of the season, he went 7 of 10, 7 of 10. Not many yards, no TDs, but 10 targets, 1, 2, 3, 5 times last year. 9 targets. So he's 9 plus targets in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games, right? That's what we look at. Targets are what you want. You want people who will you throw this person the ball. I appreciate the fact that guys maybe catch 5 of 5. But I'd rather take the player who's catching 5 of 10. So I know he's getting 10 looks. I know one day he'll get 7 of 10, 8 of 10. I want looks, I want targets. So I think
Yeah.
that's a
Yeah,
plus.
that's something that I think Sarge should actually like kind of just look into before he makes like kind of a decision on the second one. Like we know Achan's got to be one. And then what about the Chase Brown kid?
Oh, that's the running back for Chase Brown, the running back. Well, he's the running back for the
Cincy, right?
Cincinnati. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, almost 1,000 yards, second year, 7 TDs. That's a high-powered offense. Came out of Illinois, big school. I mean, maybe he gets some he can get some of those yards with everyone looking downfield and the safeties are playing deep. And next thing you know, this guy's just getting, 5-man front and getting some yards. So ran for
Yeah,
20 yards against Vegas. He's got some catches in him. He had 11 targets against Baltimore, 9 of 11 against Baltimore. Yeah, I mean, I think that's another one he can look at for sure.
yeah, it's an option. He was kind of in a timeshare with Zach Moss at the beginning of last season, but kind of just started taking over, man. So, yeah, that's gonna be an interesting second pick for Sarge. What would you do if you were him?
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking, I would say, I mean, HAN to me is the one I would definitely say, like, that's a good offense. I feel that's a 21st, so you can't really go wrong with that. And, then it comes down to, do I want Chase Brown 9 or do I want T. Higgins in the third? And not like guys who signed the contracts. T. Higgins is having a great year. I feel like he's going to get a lot more. He's going to be more involved in the offense. I'm taking that third rounder, and I'm going to go T. Higgins.
Interesting.
What do you see?
I don't like keeping players as keepers when I could get those players in that round anyway. Do you know what I mean?
Sure.
There's other receivers that I could get in the third round, like T. Higgins, that I might like more. So to burn a third round on T. Higgins, I don't want him that much. So for me, after Achan, I would strongly consider Jennings, Brown, or maybe even Godwin, depending on how Godwin looks in the preseason. Because when Godwin's healthy with Baker Mayfield, I mean,
Yeah.
like we kind of forget. We forget how good Godwin is when he's healthy. He was coming back from injury last year. And so I can see Sarge picking Godwin because he's such a Bucks fan,
Oh yeah,
and
yeah,
you know
yeah,
what I mean.
yeah.
And
Well, I
so,
made my pick. I'm living with it. So,
yeah, I don't know if I would pick Godwin, but I think that's probably what Sarge is going to do. I think I'd probably go Chase Brown.
all right. Okay, I got a first. Well, I got a first ascension here.
All right.
Achan and T. Higgins, Chase Brown. All right. Well, we're in the same team, Cincinnati, so we're good. We're good.
Yeah, that's true. We both know that like when it comes down to like a tough decision, you go with the best offense, man. Best
Yeah.
offensive coordinator, best offensive system, best stat. I mean, that's how you make your tiebreaker.
Well, we also forgot that he could also keep Roquan Smith. You know, Sarge can be like, I'm keeping Roquan 7.
Through the window. All right, here's the mistake I made as we look at Mills' list. I put down Puka Nakua as a eligible keeper for him. And then as I was making my way through the teams, I realized that actually Puka ended up on your roster because he was involved in a trade that you and Miller had.
Yeah.
So I apologize for that. I've added him to your list, but I just forgot to delete him from Miller. So Puka Nakua, although Miller kept him last year in round 22, he is no longer on Miller's squad. So Miller cannot keep Puka Nakua. That's something that you're going to have to decide.
Yeah.
So with that being said, let's look at Miller's team and talk about who he could keep. What do you think?
Well, going down the list, Nico Collins, that's, great offense, good system. He's got 68 receptions, 1,000 yards, 7 TDs. Ninth round, he's going to probably go before that. Joe Burrow is, I think everyone's talking about Joe Burrow going to have a fantastic season. I see, 11th round for a top 3 quarterback. If we're saying if we're telling Lenny take Lamar in the 4th, I think taking Joe Burrow in 11th is even an easier
Yeah.
calculation.
Yep.
And as much as I like Xavier Worthy, I like that offense in Kansas City. I'm taking Xavier Worthy at the uh, 4th round over Nico Collins in the 9th. That's
No way.
yeah. That's and then there's always the Brock Purdy.
And Ricky Pearsall.
Ricky Pearsall. That's right. But I just feel that, looking at this, Miller, because he's going to analyze all this. He's got the binder. He's got the trophy. We give him shit for it. But I think he's going to go Nico Collins, and I feel he's going to go Burrow. I feel like those are
Yeah.
2 guys that he just goes, why am I overthinking this?
Yep.
Right?
I totally agree. There's a lot of fun things to consider, like Tyrone Tracy, the running back for the Giants at 22. Everyone's saying like he's got like 4.4 speed. He just needs some time to develop, and there's a lot of fun things to think about on a George Kittle, Xavier Worthy, like you said, Josh Downs, the burner for Indy in the 22nd, Brock Purdy, his homeboy in the 8th, Ricky Pearsall. Maybe he's just gonna turn into a star of the show in San Fran, but ultimately Nico's the best receiver in the league. He's on a great offensive system with a great quarterback. And then Joe Burrow was the number 1 point getter at quarterback in our league last year, more than Lamar, more than any other running quarterback. And the reason he gets up there that high is because of his amount of completions, man. He had 460 completions last year. The closest person to that was Baker at 407. And that's how Baker got in our top 5. So, yeah, you can't go wrong with Joe.
Yeah, he had basically 2 games where he had below 20 completions. So,
that is nuts.
But he had, let's see, let me count here. He had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games with over 30 completions. So he's just, and he won Miller the championship in the final game. The final, look how Miller won. Burrow put up a 90-pointer in the final game of the season. You're done, right? Thanks. So yeah, I feel like he's going to go there. That's what I would do if I were Miller.
I think Burrow is the one non-mobile quarterback, or I'll say pocket passer that can give you those kind of spikes.
Yeah.
Mahomes used to be able to do it when he had some weapons. Maybe Herbert, maybe one time. but Burrow is going to give you a 90-pointer every now and then, even though he, doesn't run much. Okay, so we got Mill figured out. He's going to go with Nico and Burrow. He'll get Nico in the 9th round, Burrow in the 11th round. Let's talk about Matt Jarowski.
Yeah, hold on. Let me turn my lights on. Hold on, one second.
How rude. Let's look at the picture of the guys. It's fun times, wasn't it? We're almost there again. We're almost there.
Yeah, I'm gonna be out there digging for clams soon.
I like the kind of traditions, like the rhythm of it all that we're getting into. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, that's great.
It's kind of fun.
For sure.
All right.
Right. Yeah, look at a ski dog.
I remember Ski last year didn't have a ton of options. And he's got some more this year. Let's talk about it. Last year he kept Dalton Kincaid, who everyone's kind of waiting to have a good tight end season. He was highly touted coming out of college. But it just hasn't really seemed to happen for Kincaid like we wanted to. And then he kept Pacheco in the 19th round. And Pacheco has 1 year left of keeper eligibility, and he could keep him in the 18th round. What do you think? What do you see?
Yeah, I mean, I feel he's got a lot of options here. I feel like Pacheco. I mean, I feel like he's a hard Runner, right? I've been hearing that he's like in great shape coming out of off-season training. He's got Khalil Shakir, the Buffalo receiver.
Yep.
I like that. I mean, Herbert, who has had a couple down years. I mean, waiting for Herbert to kind of turn things around, and maybe this is the year he does it. Second year with his quarterback, with his head coach, and then Jerry Jeudy, who just was such a disappointment for a while, but then Jerry Jeudy has like come back. I feel like he's really salvaged his career for whatever reason. I don't know what was going on, but I feel like he's really just a better solid player. We were everyone was down on Jerry Jeudy, and but he's really kind of come back. He just 800, 400, 900, 700 yards, but last year 1,200 yards in Cleveland, which in Cleveland, how many different quarterbacks were out there? I mean, this guy is kind of jinxed a little bit, but he had a great year, 1,200 yards. So I feel like
he finished 10th in points at receiver in our league.
Yeah, with who are the quarterbacks in Cleveland? Of course,
exactly.
Five quarterbacks in there going on. So, I mean, if I'm looking at Ski, I'm thinking, well, do I think that flyer on Pacheco that he's going to turn things around? It's a late pick, so I could have a running back. I do like Shakir. It's a 6th round though. Is he going to be there in 6th round? Do I hold back on that? DK Metcalf. I think DK Metcalf is just. He's one of those guys. DK Metcalf is, here's to me. DK Metcalf is when you go to play pickup basketball and you see this just like Adonis looking person showing up, chiseled, everything. You're like, oh man, I got that dude. Let me get DK. And then you see him play. It's like, what's going on? What are you doing? Like, how come you can't make a layup? Like, why do you keep dropping the ball? And this guy just looks like he should be dominating, but he just doesn't have those seasons that you want. So
yeah. I'm a little worried. I mean, I can quibble with your assessment of DK, but I'm a little worried about his new spot in Pittsburgh. I think Pittsburgh might be a trade wreck this year, man. I just really worry about them, what they got going on at quarterback, with Aaron Rodgers coming in, and DK runs a certain type of route. I don't know if Aaron can get it to him like that anymore. Like those deep slants,
Yeah.
And Aaron Rodgers has been throwing like these little quick 3-step, hitches, whatever they are,
I don't want to let me not get sacked back here. That's what it is.
Exactly.
It's
exactly.
Like,
So yeah, I don't know how that's going to work in Pittsburgh. So yeah, for me, it's like Jerry Jeudy at 22 after the season he had, finishing top 10 in our league. I think is fine. Jonnu Smith has also been traded to Pittsburgh. Now I see Jonnu Smith catching more passes from Aaron Rodgers than I do DK. Yeah. You know what I mean? And Jonnu Smith was a Pro Bowl tight end last year. But if it were me personally, I've always had some love for Herbert. I like him in the 22nd round. He's got a beautiful arm. He's got more and more weapons each year. They're building around him. If he does have a top 5 season this year, you got him as a keeper in the 22nd. He's got 3 years of eligibility left. So I would go personally for me, Judy and Herbert, not have to worry about quarterback in the draft. That would be me. What would you do?
I agree with Judy. I'm taking Judy just because the value is there, right? I mean, you have to look at like where you're getting these guys. But I'm going to double up on receiver. I'm going to go Shakir. I'm going to take that high-powered offense in Buffalo. I like what Shakir brings to the table. He's going to get a lot of looks. And I feel like then you kind of, again, this is one of the things, like if you load up receiver, Judy and Shakir, and then okay, hey, first 3 rounds, I go running back, and then I get a quarterback later, I'm doing okay. I got 2 wide receivers. Maybe I go running back, receiver. I don't know. I feel like you will have some options there. It's always thinking about how that plays out in your draft, but of course we don't know where you're drafting at this point. So that also plays into it.
Yeah, Shakir did have 76 catches last year, 4 touchdowns. How many years has Shakir been in the league?
2.
Okay.
I'm looking right now. 3. He's going on his 4th year. So first year, 20 targets. Second year, 45 targets. Last year, 100 targets. So he's 6 foot. He's 190. He's a decent sized receiver. It's not like he's a 5'9" guy. Which I always look at too. I look at like when I'm going through this and really digging into it. I'm like, okay, I don't want a 5'9" receiver. I want a couple guys who are 6'3", and then I give me a 5'9" guy somewhere else. But
who else do the Bills have at receiver? Not to go down a wormhole, but I'm just curious. I want to know if Shakir is just going to be a flex or could he be more than that? They got the Keon Coleman guy they drafted last year. They got Josh Palmer that they signed. All right, yeah, maybe Shakir's worth it, man. Maybe he's worth a look. I don't love the 6th round part of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Laviska Shenault. He's a waiver wire pickup every year.
Oh yeah. I see him on that team, of course.
Oh man! All right, so we're pretty close on that one. Another disagreement: Shakir versus Hebert. Shakir, Hebert. All right, so now we go on to Hambone.
All right, so Hammy last year he kept Jamar Chase, who he rode for 3 straight years. But thank God Jamar's going back into the pool, so he's open for anyone to draft in the 1st round this year. And he is a beast. He's probably a lock to finish in the top 3 at receiver every year. And anyone gets to pick him, so that's great. He can't be kept anymore. And then last year, Hammy also kept Trey McBride in the 22nd round, which was a great keeper. Great keeper. You got tight end all figured out, man. And so what do you see from Hammond?
I mean, Aaron Jones had he's in Vegas, if I'm not mistaken, right? Didn't Aaron Jones in Vegas? Jordan Love, 12th rounder. James Conner. I mean, James Conner is one of those guys who just every year just does it, and we just keep forgetting about him. But that's 4th round for
too early. I don't like it. It's too early.
Yeah, Guerendo. I feel like that's the guy, Isaac Guerendo. He's for the 49ers rookie. He's getting, is he going to get some touches in that backfield? Is McCaffrey is going to play again? Is he healthy? Who knows?
If McCaffrey goes down, Guerendo is the back.
Yeah.
So he's a great handcuff.
But do you think a handcuff with your keeper and a 22nd pick?
I don't know, because McCaffrey either is going to be healthy all year and set new records, or he's going to get hurt in week 1. Like, we never know what to expect. Like, McCaffrey is such a roll of the dice, man.
Yeah.
So frustrating.
Mooney's in Atlanta this year, so Atlanta's got, where Penix is playing the quarterback role right this year, because I think that
Penix. Let's pronounce his name right. Penix, okay?
Penix.
All right. But Mooney had a great year when Penix, or a great 3 or 4 games when Penix was throwing to him. Really went off. I mean, they have Penix he throws the deep out beautifully, right? And that's what Mooney loves to run, dude. So Mooney would not be a bad pick there. But then Baker Mayfield finished number 2 in fantasy points at quarterback in our league last year, bro. You can get him in the 22nd round, take Baker for another ride. He's got a new offensive coordinator in Tampa. The offensive coordinator went to Jacksonville to be the head coach there, so they got a new one. So that's a little bit iffy. But I wouldn't hate it if he kept Trey McBride again in the 21st round and Baker Mayfield in the 22nd round. I wouldn't hate that at all.
Yeah, I mean that's not bad. But we're forgetting one guy here, and I think that we have to give this guy some props. Is Rico Dowdle, right? This dude put up 1,000 yards, didn't have any touchdowns, playing in Carolina. It's kind of a shit show.
I thought was he in Carolina or Dallas?
He was in Dallas last year. He's at Carolina now.
Oh, really? They got rid of him. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So getting him in the 22nd round, I don't know their depth chart just now, but I mean, I feel like,
They
but
got Shuba
yeah, Chuba, yeah,
Hubbard.
Chuba Hubbard, yeah. So yeah, I mean, is he gonna get some burn? I don't know, but 22nd round, I feel like at that point, if you don't know who you're gonna take, taking the guy that put up 1,000 yards last year, maybe it's not a bad thing. 22nd round, I don't know. Over James Conner. I mean, if you're looking at
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
18 rounds of wins, and then would you rather Dowdle or Garendo at the 22nd round? Yeah. But I feel like
Yeah,
Baker is you're done at quarterback. So you'd be like, if he went McBride and Mayfield, he can draft whatever he wants to draft all day. And
I
then
like that because you only really need one tight end. You only really need one quarterback, right?
yeah,
If you get that figured out, you could just like spend all of your early rounds just thinking about running back and receiver and really capitalizing on those opportunities. I kind of like taking away the buzz and the distraction of like, when do I grab my quarterback? When do I grab my tight end? Because those are the two positions that can drive me crazy, man. Like I'm in round 4, I'm like, crap, do I just go for like the Lamar now or do I wait? Like those, I hate those decisions.
yeah. Yeah, and then you guys like you can be you kind of like be free because you're worried about those one
Right.
positions you're done. So yeah,
Are you ever in that, like when you're drafting and you're like, it's the end of the 4th round, you're like, all right, do I get Kelsey here? Or do I just wait on tight end to the 8th round? Like what, like you're in that moment of like
yeah, and you don't know when
panic,
the run's gonna start. When's the run gonna start?
Exactly.
And you're like,
Exactly.
tight end run, but I still need a wide receiver. But now I'm taking this guy and I left, somebody on the board.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I kind of like not having to worry about those weird
yeah,
quarterback and tight end runs. But
yeah. I think McBride and Mayfield. That's what I would do if I were Hammond. That's my
yeah,
pick.
yeah, I agree. I actually would prefer Mayfield over Love. I think Love has a lot of weapons and all that stuff, but
I
there's
mean, for
something
10
about
rounds difference, for 10 rounds of difference.
I know.
I mean, I'd rather take. If it's I'm looking at this thing and going, okay, well, who am I going to take in the 12th round? Say you had a 12th round pick. I think that's where you go, well, let me look at what rookie is sitting out there, is
Yeah.
you know, can I take Travis Stevens or whatever that number 1 pick or whatever he was. Like, can I get that guy in the 12th round and have him just sit on my
Right.
bench and I got, this two-way player. I don't know. I feel like you've got to think about what can you do with that pick instead.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
I love James Conner. I love James. Every year he surprises me. I keep
yeah,
waiting for him to fall off a cliff, but you can't do it in the 4th round.
yeah.
Though.
No,
All right.
it's run roach now.
Roachy Roach. Roachy
Roachy roach. Here we
Roach.
go.
So last year he kept Tajay Spears in round 21 and Kyron Williams in round 22. And I think he kept Spears 1 year too early. I think this is going to be the Spears year. That's just my gut feeling. But let's look at what options he has. You tell me what you would do.
Well, I mean, the glaring like red light, is this guy named Jaden Daniels. It's just, I mean, if Lamar is the most fun player to watch, Jaden Daniels is on the doorstep. I mean, this
Yeah,
guy is just
yeah,
so much fun to watch, and his enthusiasm for the game. It's the same, like he plays the same way. You just want the way you want your franchise quarterback to be. It's just a guy who is cool, who is good, And for Roach, 19th round. I mean, good Lord, you're handed this
Yeah.
for the next 2 years. Like this, to me, is where Roach should be like, let me win this league the next 2 years. It's almost like,
Yeah.
it's almost the way the Commanders are. They have a rookie quarterback on a quarterback on a rookie deal.
Yeah.
Make it go. And I feel like this is the time where Roach can like win 2 out of 3 championships the next couple of years.
Yeah. That's a great point. He's got Jaden Daniels on his team if he wants him for the next 3 years, starting, this year, as a keeper, because he got him for free last year. Wasn't
Yeah.
in keeper status. He just
Yeah.
smartly drafted him. He could keep him for 3 more years, and he could use it as a real foundational building block. Roach,
Yeah.
this is your opportunity, buddy.
Yeah. If you're watching, drop Jaden Daniels. Preferably around Monday morning at 5 a.m. when I wake up. That'd be great. Yeah,
Um,
I mean,
I
I think
see.
that's great.
I see two other kind of clear options for him, and I'm thinking either Kyron Williams or Laporta in those later rounds.
Yeah, I mean, Kyron at 21st pick. I mean, 21st round. That's just, man, that's nice. He's a good running back. I mean, last year put up 1,200 yards. The year before, he led the league in yards per game and only played 12 games. I mean, this guy is, I would take Kyron Williams again. One of those things you take him, and then your first round pick. If you take a top 5 running back in your first round, you look at him and Kyron Williams. Good Lord, you're on the right place there. So,
And Jaden Daniels.
and Jane Daniels. I mean, now he's just like, I think he
Yeah.
can really set his team up nicely with that. So yeah, I like that pick. I mean, I look at Calvin Ridley, and Calvin Ridley put up 1,000 yards, only 4 TDs. Um, but you can't go against a running back who's going to get the ball and I think a good offense.
Yeah. And Ridley's too high in the fourth round. So,
Yeah, yeah. That's where I would go if I were Roach. I would obviously the Jaden Daniels part is just that's easy. That's easy money right there. But
yeah, I would be tempted. I would have a hard time with the Kyron versus Laporta debate. I'd probably end up going with Kyron Williams because Sean McVay just loves Kyron. They love to run it. Their offensive line's built for running. Their whole offense is set up through the play action and the run. So I'd probably go with Kyron. But I would be tempted to keep Laporta because I like to answer the tight end and quarterback question.
yeah.
So all right.
So we're
Well,
we're
just
we're we're,
just
we're agreed on that, right?
yeah, I guess we will.
All right. All right, Roach. I will tell you, Roach. Now, like seriously, get your mantle cleared. You should have 2 trophies if things go your way with that Jaden Daniels. All
All
right,
right,
let's keep it in the
Craig's
same.
turn.
Let's keep it in the same zip code. Going to Cretan.
Okay, so last year Craig kept Brees Hall, and he kept him in the 6th round. He would be a 5th round keeper this year, and he kept Hurts last year in the 9th round, and Hurts is still eligible going into his last year of eligibility, and he would be an 8th round pick this year. And I got to tell you, man, I wouldn't hate it if he did the same thing this year. What do you see when you look at Craig's team?
Yeah, I mean, I mean, I feel like that was run it back. It's just because you look at Brees Hall 5th round or Jordan Addison in the 7th round, and it's like, what's the talent difference between those 2 rounds? I mean, this is a great one to look at. You've got because Jordan's got talent. He's a good situation in Minnesota, right? Um, Brees Hall. I'm not sure about the Jets and what they're doing, and the Jets are always that way, right? Jets are always kind of like, what are we doing? Who knows? Uh, but Minnesota's got JJ McCarthy, a rookie, basically a rookie quarterback.
Yeah, we haven't seen him yet. It's a
Yeah, we
great
don't know.
offensive system, great proven coaching. Addison's a good talent, but we haven't seen their quarterback play yet.
Yeah. So what's that difference look like if you had to go? Well, do I want the 5th round or the 7th round? I don't know where I would go with that. I might stick back in that. I mean, the talent level from Jordan Addison versus Brees Hall. I don't know. Um,
Brees Hall,
receiver or running back. I don't know. What do you do there?
yeah, Brees Hall had dealt with some injury last year. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
he still finished, I think, top 15 in points in our league.
Well, he had 57 receptions. That's a lot of receptions. He only had 876 yards and 5 TDs rushing, but 57 receptions, 3 TDs.
Yeah. Yeah. He's got explosivity. So he's down for those spike weeks. I guess it just depends on how you want to build your draft. You know what I mean? Like strategically, do you want to start building with running back in the beginning, or do you want to start building with receiver in the beginning? You know what I mean? And we got to make the decision by mid-August. I think it's around August 15th that we get our keeper picks in. I'll send out an email to specify that. But yeah, I think Craig should run it back. I think he should go Brees. I think he should go Hurts. And if he does anything else other than that, he goes Addison instead of Brees Hall.
Yeah.
But I would go Hall and I would go Hurts. Talent level, let's do it.
Yep. All right, so that leaves the last two, your hosts of the podcast, me, and then we'll save the commish for last. So yeah, let's look at what we got here for. So this is one where I made a trade. So last year to Jonathan Taylor, who just had a shit season. He was off for a bunch, and then he came back and kind of salvaged a bit of a season. And then I had CJ Stroud, who just didn't have. Everyone thought he was going to be that magical second year. He didn't really put everything together the same way he did, and that happens sometimes. So
offensive line problems, man. They didn't. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you gotta solve that. So I think that's But then looking at what I did trade for Puka Nacua, and that was one of my trades that I traded to Miller. I took that keeper. That was my big pick. I traded him McCaffrey and Burrow for that Puka Nacua pick. I did that because basically it was like, I'm having a crappy season. Let me stash somebody for next year. So that's one I'm gonna, I think to me that's easy. Puka Nacua is there.
I agree.
And then it comes down to, Tajay Spears, 22nd round, running back. Smith and Jigba, but that's a 5th round for a lot of talent, but will he still be there? Can I get him? Who knows? Jaden Reed, a lot of talent in Green Bay. Jonathan Taylor, do I take him in the 2nd round? Do I take basically a 1st round pick in the 2nd round? Again, that also plays, I don't know. This is the fun part about the league. I don't know where I'm going to draft. Right. So let's say I'm the 1st pick again. Right. And then Jonathan Taylor is my 2nd pick in the end of the 2nd round, almost a 3rd rounder. It's worth it at that point.
Right.
If I pick 10th and then I pick 1st in the 2nd round, it's where's my value? The value there is so tight that at the first 2 rounds, if you're gonna pick a keeper the first 3 rounds, your value is so tight. 8th round, 10th round, who cares? But if you're gonna keep somebody in that 2nd round, where you pick could change the value dramatically.
That's a great point, and we don't know where you're gonna pick.
Yeah, especially with the combine, and I know everyone's training hard. I'm doing quarters on the side. I'm doing flip cup to practice. I'm throwing footballs in the backyard to lawn chairs. I mean, I'm getting ready for this combine, baby. I'm ready.
Well, listen, man, if you want to be conservative and not too risky, and you kept Puka Nacua in round 21, and you picked Drake May or Tajay Spears in round 22, it might be fine. Drake May had a good rookie season he was on an awful team last year.
Yeah.
What if he I don't know. Having him in the 22nd round, you could still grab a quarterback early if you wanted to, and have Drake May. He could end up, I don't know, something to consider. How did Drake May do in points in our league last year? Let me just see where he fell in overall points.
Yeah, that's a good question. Drake May. Yeah, I mean, new system,
He was down pretty low.
Yeah, I mean, 15 TDs, 10 picks.
Yeah, it's not good enough. But his team was so bad, man. He passed the eyeball test, dude. I think he's going to be a good quarterback. But But Bo Nix put up some points, man. He actually put up more points than Jaden Daniels last year in our league.
Yeah.
Again, I think it's because of the completions. He had 376 completions, and Jaden only had 331. But anyway, I'm going down a wormhole. What do you think about Tajay Spears, man?
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at Tajay Spears. I mean, he's in Tennessee's gonna be bad though, right? I mean, Tennessee's not in a good situation. Um, does that mean they load the box and they just say, okay, well, run the ball? I don't know. I mean, that's
Right.
that's tough. But I mean, I feel like, look,
They got
If I take Tajay Spears, I still have to go after a running back or two in my first three picks. I mean, the reality is Tajay Spears is gonna be like a hope and a prayer.
yeah.
And it's not like I'm gonna get Tajay Spears and be like, well, there's one running back, good to go.
Yeah, I think he's more like a RB3, and maybe he surprises and goes up to RB2. He's got Cam Ward, the rookie quarterback. They got a new offense. They're putting in a new offensive system. Cam Ward is great at check downs. He knows how to do that well. He did it great in college. And Tajay can catch. But you're right. I think it's a conservative approach. If you want to take the conservative approach and say, look, I'll be safe not knowing where I'm going to draft instead of risking it all and keeping a keeper in the round 2. I'll just be conservative. I've got my Puka. I'll just go Tajay. I wouldn't hate you for it.
Yeah, yeah. I think the other part is like I looked at this guy and this guy's got all the talent in the world, but Rashid Shaheed in New Orleans, right? I mean, he's got so
Yeah.
much talent, but I'm gonna read you the three names on the quarterback roster for the New Orleans Saints. Uh, and these are all real people. Hunter Deckers, Jake Hayner, and Spencer Rattler. Now, if you're the, if you're
Can't
if
do
you're
it, dude.
the defense, you're like, okay, everyone 11 in the box. This guy ain't throwing anywhere. You're
Yeah.
like, this he ain't gonna him. No one's gonna make any completions. No one's running the ball. So like, I like Shaheed, but man, how are you gonna run the ball when you've got no quarterback to throw who's gonna throw anything? I feel like that's just a bad situation. This is where like talent is there for Shaheed, but like what a bad situation for him. Um, but and then look, I can also go back to CJ Stroud. CJ Stroud,
You
third,
could.
21st pick. I'm done. Thanks very
You
much.
could.
I've got my quarterback at Stroud, who is of course Drake May's 22nd pick. I'm taking Stroud over May, one round difference.
True. That's true.
And then I'll keep Puka Nacua in the 21st round, and I'm good. So now I can focus on just
Yeah.
get running backs. I'll get a tight end. I'll be fine. I've got a top receiver. I've got a top quarterback. I'm good for a while.
Yeah, I think John Taylor's too risky to do in the second round as a keeper. And I love Smith and Jigba out in Seattle, but he's going to have a new quarterback thrown to him, new offensive system. And I don't love him in the 5th round. So if I were you, I'd probably do that. I'd go Stroud in the 21st round and Nakua in the 20th or
Yeah.
whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you have to decide how we're going up or down a pick. I think we should go up. That's just me.
Okay. Well, Lenny always has strong feelings about that. We'll address that when we get to the draft. All right. So,
saving the best for last, the commish.
all right. I feel like personally, this is going to be quick. I think it's really kind of self-evident as I looked at my list. So, I didn't have many options last year. I kept Flowers, who really personally let me down. I'll never have Flowers on my team again. And he was just one of those. I had high hopes. It was one of those seasons where just every time I needed him to do something, it didn't happen. And golf was fine, but I'm realizing now it's time to make a change. I need more spike weeks. I need to go all in. I need to get daring. So,
by the way, I'm gonna pause right there. I think you just coined a phrase here in the fantasy world: spiked weeks. I think that is like a fantasy. Like, how many spiked weeks does this guy have?
yeah,
And like he averages like above, basically that differential of like, hey, he had 9 spiked weeks or 3 spiked weeks.
yeah. And I think like the spike weeks, if you can find a guy that can spike for you with a decent floor, that's like the key, man. Like There's guys out there that will spike 3 times and to do nothing for the rest of the season. Like those guys, you don't want those guys. They're impossible because you'll have them on your bench the week they go off. But if you can find a guy with a decent floor that can also spike for you, then that's huge, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe we're on to something. But so I'm keeping neither Golf or Flowers this year. I'm just telling you that right now. Who do you think I should go with?
I thought you would go Flowers because I feel like he's going to just be, his third year. I just feel he's going to be there. Um, Malik Neighbors has so much talent, but are you going to take that in the third round? I don't know
Nope.
about that.
I almost feel like the Saints have a better quarterback situation than the Giants do right now.
Yeah. Christian Watson in the fourth round. I mean, that's a little too spicy for me. I don't know about that. Um, Brian Robinson, right? Do you have him? Do you have B-Rob? No,
Yeah.
Brian Thomas.
So Brian Thomas Jr.,
Yeah, Brian Thomas.
rookie receiver last year for Jacksonville.
That's sorry, Brian Thomas.
Yeah.
Brian Thomas Jr. I like that one. I feel 11th round. It's a lot of talent. I mean, I was looking at the numbers here. This guy just had, just a great season.
He did.
I feel Jacksonville had one of those years that, like, if it could go wrong, it did. And so I feel like that bounce back of like, okay, Brian Thomas Jr., bad year, things in coach, all everything changed. But now this guy, I feel like 1,200 yards in his rookie year, 133 targets in his rookie year, 10 TDs,
Let me tell you the top
6'2",
five
6'2", 209. I mean, this guy's just like oozing.
top five receivers in our league last year by points: Jamar Chase, Amon-Ra, Justin Jefferson, Brian Thomas Jr., and Drake London.
Yeah.
So I got to keep Brian Thomas Jr. in the 11th round. That's definitely a keeper. I would love to keep Malik Neighbors, but I drafted him a little too high last year. I don't want to keep him in the third round when I can't trust their offensive system or the fact that he doesn't have a quarterback throwing to him. And so my second keeper is going to be the all-star rookie tight end from last year for the Raiders, Brock Bowers, in round 20.
Oh yeah, there you go. Bowers, nice. Yeah, I forgot about him. Yeah, I forgot how good he was last season.
Yeah, he was a beast. Yeah. And so that way, like I said earlier, I don't want to have to think about tight end and quarterback if I don't have to, and I can just not worry about tight end. So Brock Bowers was the #1 overall tight end in our league last year. And Trey McBride was followed up, and then Kittle, Jonnu Smith, and Kelsey. So yeah, I think Brock is kind of leading a new group. And Laporta actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Laporta finished 7th out of the right behind Mark Andrews, which is surprising to me. But anyway, yeah, Jonnu Smith, something to think about. We talked about him a little bit earlier for ski.
He's no long in the tooth, though. I feel like he's been there. He's like 7th year. Is he really going to give you that again? That spike week. He's a floor guy.
Yeah, he's a floor guy.
Yeah, so I don't know.
Okay,
I mean, that's we have a couple. I'll put these up and a couple of disagreements here. A lot of the same, but I mean, thankfully we are the experts. So these guys should listen to us for sure.
So we feel pretty confident that you're going Stroud and Nakua, and I'm going Brian Thomas Jr. and Brock Bowers, right?
I feel pretty confident that that we're not bullshitting anybody.
Okay, and you don't think you're going to change your mind right before the draft?
Oh, I can't say that for sure. I mean, Nakua is unless Nakua gets hurt.
Yeah.
I mean, all this injuries obviously happen, but I feel like Nakua, and this, Stroud makes it simple because I feel like he's going to be in a better system. Third year in the league. I think they've addressed some of their offensive line. Back to the, it's the same head coach. I mean, all these things I look at, like if the head coach is the same, offensive coordinator is the same. That's what you want to see, especially in an offense. I mean, defensive coordinators can change because they have different ideas and everything else. Even the Ravens, you see how much they changed their defensive coordinator. It took them like 8 weeks to figure that shit out.
Right.
And they kind of got it together.
Yep.
The offensive coordinator, you need to have that same play call, that same cadence, the same rhythm, and we see it happen with a new head coach and new offensive coordinator.
I think Stroud's going to be fine. I think he's going to bounce back. It's not like he had a horrible year last year. I think he's going to bounce back this year, third year. And he also had some receivers that were hurt for periods of time
Yeah.
last year, Tank
But
Dell
still
and that
does. I
kind of
mean,
thing.
Tank Dell's out for a while, and
Yeah.
Nico Collins is there, and yeah, I mean, I feel like they're in a solid system.
Hey, just before we wrap it up, the Ravens offseason has been spectacular, dude.
Yeah,
Their secondary is going to be fire, bro.
yeah,
They're such a well-run organization. Their draft was great.
yeah.
This could be the year, man.
Yeah, and you know what they do really well is they sign guys who just got cut so that they have that bitter like they want to man fuck these guys. And they just
Yeah,
they know how to get that edge like the guy from Green Bay, the quarterback, the guy.
yeah. He's going to have like 1 or 2 good years left in him, and he's going to give it to the Ravens.
Yeah, I mean these guys is like oh you have an edge, you feel like you've been wronged, come to our organization and take that wrong that you feel and punish the other team.
Yeah,
I just feel like they just get these guys like that.
yeah,
Even DeAndre Hopkins, like oh he's washed up, oh he's this and that. They bring him in and they just can okay, give me 20 snaps, or
yeah.
like you can just catch that ball and make that first down. I mean, I feel like they just always get that, but that secondary is going to be insane. I
It's
don't know
sick,
what you
dude.
do if you're
It's
a
so deep.
quarterback. Yeah,
It's so deep.
but yeah, but you have to because look, Joe Burrow, they're gonna play him twice,
Yep.
right? And everyone's coming after the Ravens this year. I mean, that's what
Yep.
happens when you go 14-3 or whatever they did. Be fun.
Yeah, it's gonna be cool. It's gonna be great, man. Well, this was a good start, dude. We probably we just chit chat about this stuff, man. So like in my head before we started, I was like, I guess that'll take about like 15, 20 minutes. But that was fun, dude. And yeah, I think we're probably right. If everyone listens to us, they're gonna have a better season. So I hope they do the right thing,
Yeah. Yep. And make sure you subscribe on that button, share it with everybody. Again, we want to get our view count up into the triple digits.
That's right, baby.
That thing, the 100 views. And this thing, when we're big in the podcast world, you'd be like, I knew these guys and they were just, doing some local podcasts.
That's right. And the 100th subscriber gets to come on our trip with us next year and hook up with this guy.
That's right.
All right, guys. See ya. Have a great one, man. We'll do this again in a couple weeks and start talking about the season and the stats and all that good stuff.
All right. Thanks for watching, guys.